They made my life that much more comfortable. Through the Misi program, they were able to help me facilitate the first and last month. If that program wasn't available, there would be no way I could move. That's a huge help when you're on a fixed income like Social Security disability like I am. There's no way I could save, $5,000 to pay first month and deposit to move into a place. There's just no way. And if I could, it would take years and years to do it. My name is Miguel Pena. I'm Hispanic, but I was born here in Sacramento, California. I'm visually impaired, I'm blind, that's why I'm wearing sunglasses. So I wear sunglasses day or night, and outside, inside. People think I'm weird because I got sunglasses on inside, but it's because it hurts. I lived in an apartment complex for about 5 years. I wanted to live in a house, and Misi made that possible. Through the Misi program, they were able to help me facilitate the first and last month. And when you're on a fixed income, there's the major problem. If that program wasn't available, there would be no way I could move. But because I found out about Misi, they facilitated the finances for me to make it possible for me to move. So they were able to pay the first month and whatever the deposit is. So it's either first or last, but they do first and deposit. There were certain criteria that was important when I moved into a house, like, a washer and dryer, so I don't have to go anywhere. I can clean clothes at home. Air conditioning, central air conditioning and heating, which is important when you live here in Sacramento because it gets ridiculously hot. And those window air conditioners, they just don't cut it. If you have a translation issue, or in my case, a visual issue, and you can't fill out the application, somebody will sit there and help you. One of the things that Misi, their organization does is give you the forms that need to be filled out by the landlords. Now, dealing with landlords is difficult. Most landlords, they've never heard of this program. Because they've never heard of it, they're a little skeptical. Then people like me, that see when I got somebody handed me one of their flyers, it seems skeptical, but I already heard about it through other people before, and I kind of looked into it, and I was like, wow, this is a great program if it actually works. Now, it's not something, they're never going to give you the money. They give the money directly to your landlord, the deposit and the first month's rent, and it does take time. There's a process. They have to fill out the forms. The landlord has to fill out their forms. Then they have to submit it to Anthem Blue Cross, and Anthem Blue Cross has to approve it. Then they have to cut a check, and all that can take some time. So it's not something that you're going to be able to do in like a week, 2 weeks, and in my case, it was quick. It was a month, but it's not always like that. It could take up to 2 months. Not only did it get done in a faster time than I expected, but there was other benefits to, like the household furnishings that I didn't even know about. They offer, other things that you qualify for. Could be, food. They send food boxes that come to your house in, refrigerated boxes and so on, that the food stays cold, and produce, and which is amazing. They have lots and lots of services that are available to people. You just have to be willing to take that chance. And in my case, it's a blessing that I was able to find this place. It was a blessing that we were able to move in. It was a blessing that, I have where I live in a house instead of an apartment complex. And the most important thing when you're moving is the finances. And if you don't have first and last month, how are you ever going to move? And people like me, like I said before, just on a fixed income, there's no way we can save $5,000 to get a new place. And Misi made that possible.